As we step into this holy space, may the grace of the Almighty fill our beings with love, hope, and profound serenity. Selected one. While everyone else was dressing up with phony faces, you were ridiculed for being authentic. And now, because you won't don a mask and join their masquerade party of pretenders, they are enraged. You've been asking yourself the same unsettling questions for years. Why do I look different in every place I go into? Why do other people appear to be able to get it together when I can't? Why does it seem like I'm constantly being watched and evaluated, under scrutiny? Why is it that no matter where I go or what group I'm with, it's always me versus them? Standing in the center of a crowd allows your entire face to display your true feelings, sentiments, and replies. Because the other half is concealed behind their mask, everyone else only displays half of who they truly are. You didn't even realize the game had rules, and you were the only one who was playing by them. You have been followed everywhere by this pattern. You were the one at school who said what others were thinking, but were afraid to say. You are the one that brings up issues at work that everyone else acts as though don't exist. While some people are happy with superficial exchanges and relationships, you are the one who desires a deeper connection. You believe that something was wrong with you, but in reality, you were in perfect health. Being different has come with a heavy price. It has been difficult to think about yourself all the time and wonder why you can't just blend in like everyone else. Without realizing that being an outsider in a world full of pretenders is actually your greatest asset, you've carried this sense of alienation. It's time to make a decision. You have two options. You can wear a mask like everyone else, or you can finally give in to peer pressure and be proud of your unmasked self. A few of you have attempted wearing masks before. Perhaps, in an effort to fit in, you spent years suppressing your knowledge, dimming your brightness, and acting like someone you're not. People who believe they know you are being shocked by your return to being yourself. Your genuineness will elicit significant reactions from others around you. They may approach you wearing masks in an attempt to persuade you that you should wear one as well. They'll say you're too honest, too real, and too much for your own good. They will advise you to perhaps calm down, blend in more, and cease creating a stir. You are a sincere individual who shows their true feelings. With you, it is what it is. There are no ulterior objectives, no hidden agenda, and no games being played. For others who have centered their entire identity around concealing their true selves, this transparency that seems natural to you is a threat. Your entire being will be put to the test by what comes next. You're going to learn how widespread deceit is, how many people you thought you knew are actually strangers, and how your one act of being genuine has the power to upend entire social structures. It is precisely because of your exceptional and higher intelligence that you reveal your face. Yellow heart if you feel the divine love. Now is the time to share. Click the super thank you button on YouTube to contribute $50 or more and help us spread God's blessings. What you do is being watched and serves as a seed, and in the future it will come back to you a millionfold. There is just no justification for wearing a mask when you are informed, capable of critical thought, and able to process the environment around you. People around you think differently than you do. Others haven't even started to delve into the depths of comprehension that you have mastered. You've mastered the capacity to perceive interactions at both the surface level and the underlying, deeper currents. You're absorbing the real facts, the true dynamics, and the truth of what's happening while others are engrossed in the drama and superficial politics. You are too preoccupied with absorbing what is real to even know how to process what is fake. Therefore, you are unable to wear a mask. Living in the real world and learning facts alters your perspective on the world. Because you are rooted in reality rather than illusion, you move with a different presence and energy. This significantly distinguishes you from others who genuinely exist in delusions, those who have persuaded themselves that their masks represent their true selves. Simply put, your brain functions differently than that of mask wearers. They are able to separate reality from performance, truth from fiction, and their private and public selves. Your mind demands consistency, fullness, and integration between your inner and outside selves. Thus, you can't do this. In a society where pretense is the norm, this integration is both your greatest asset and your worst obstacle. You can live with the reality of who you truly are, which is the main distinction between you and those who wear masks. You have confronted your history, including your faults and whatever shadows you may have carried. You have accepted your shortcomings, taken the bitter tablets, and incorporated your past experiences into your current self. Being able to fully confront yourself allows you to stand without a mask. You don't have any dark or embarrassing aspects of yourself that need to be hidden because of the inward work you've done, which most people avoid all their lives. You now have a freedom that makes those around you shudder. The majority of people who wear masks do so because they are unable to face the reality of who they are. If they had to face their self-image head-on, their thoughts, behaviors, and actions would destroy it. Instead of facing their own selves, they would prefer to live behind a facade. The mask conceals them from themselves as well as from other people. You have a strong foundation that others just lack because of your readiness to face your own reality, take full responsibility for your journey, and incorporate even the challenging aspects of your past into who you are. You are free to just be who you are, while they are always trying to maintain their facade and manage their image. You're going to find out soon that your genuineness has been having unanticipated consequences. Behind the scenes, some people are putting in a lot of effort to persuade you to wear a mask before you wake up too many people. Behind the scenes, individuals are pausing involuntarily because of your uncovered presence. People are asking questions they have never asked before because you consistently present yourself as who you truly are. They're wondering what you know that they don't know because of you. They're starting to wonder what it might be like to take off their own masks because of you. Those who knew you when you were attempting to hide something have had their entire world turned upside down by your change. They had no idea that beneath the facade you were attempting to project, you were a person with this degree of insight, knowledge, and ability to speak the truth. Many of you had to dumb yourself down for years. Being too intelligent made you a target. Therefore, you had to conceal your intelligence. You had to act as though you were blind to patterns that were clearly visible to you. You had to conceal the fact that you were learning more than people around you, gaining deeper insights, and seeing the world from a wider angle. You were aware that you would have been shunned by social circles, professional circles, and even family dynamics if you had demonstrated your actual genius. Making oneself smaller, dimmer, and less dangerous was the straightforward survival tactic. Act as though you don't fully comprehend things that you do. Act as though you are on an equal footing with those who have far more constrained viewpoints. Now that you may walk unmasked, keep your insights to yourself and let others to claim ideas that you could have expanded upon. You are unaware that this has radically upended the way that many people perceive the world. They are being forced to reevaluate all of their preconceived notions about you, themselves, intelligence, and sincerity in general. When you are genuine, you get a predictable and quick response. All of a sudden, you're too much, too loud, too genuine, too inappropriate. You are branded as a know-it-all, someone who believes they are superior to others and should be degraded. The same tactic is always used. Place you in a situation where you must voluntarily stop talking, sit down, and stop talking. Quit causing discomfort to others by speaking the truth. Stop forcing people to defend their mask-wearing decisions. They want to hide your genius as soon as possible because it threatens their comfort zone. Someone will undoubtedly notice your light and want to lower it. So you need to exercise extreme caution during this moment. They will present complex justifications for why you should tone it down, why being real isn't always appropriate, and why, on occasion, donning a mask is the responsible and adult course of action. They will turn your own empathy against you by implying that your genuineness is harming other people and that you are selfish for defying social norms. They will accuse you of being too real in a world when everyone else is acting. The opposition you encounter is systemic in nature rather than merely personal. You pose a threat to entire social structures that rely on people playing designated roles, keeping their true identities hidden, and not questioning why things are the way they are. You wouldn't believe how unsettling the reality of the mask-wearing world is. You're going to learn that some of the people who matter most to you have been keeping secrets so sinister that knowing the truth will drastically alter your perspective on them. Some family members arrive at every event with flawless smiles and polite remarks, admiring the food and inquiring about everyone's lives, but they have done things that would make you shudder if you found out. Dove brother and sister, everything done in faith is returned in God's abundance. You can donate $100 using the Super Thank You button and be part of this divine call. If your roots are connected to Him, your fruit will be blessed. In private group conversations, some members of your friend groups are planning and conspiring against others while greeting them with smiles and embraces in person. That relative who always seems to have money but has no obvious source of income may have engaged in shocking practices to get there. That friend who always comes off as so well-mannered and moral, their private actions may be entirely at odds with their public image. The extent of this dishonesty even extends to work settings. Colleagues who portray themselves as moral leaders may be involved in unethical behavior that, if discovered, might ruin their careers. It's possible for people you've worked with for years to have whole backstories that run counter to their public beliefs. This is especially disturbing because of how well these masks are kept up. These are complex, long-term performances that demand ongoing effort and attention to detail. They are not sporadic blunders or small mistakes. These mask wearers have mastered their performances to the point where they can continue to wear them for decades without anyone recognizing the inconsistencies. You can live a lifetime without truly getting to know somebody. Certain people may conceal the most basic aspects of their true selves and abilities behind extremely well-maintained and complex masks. Instead of dealing with humans, you have been dealing with characters. You've been forming bonds with actors rather than real people. Some people who wear masks are so devoted to their fictitious identities that they have nearly persuaded themselves that the mask is authentic. They've spent so much time living up to their facade that they've forgotten what their true selves even look like. Because of this, they find themselves in a particularly terrible predicament where they are not only lying to others, but also to themselves. This insight is both freeing and unsettling. It's liberating because it clarifies why you were attempting to connect with people's masks rather than their true selves, which is why you never felt like you actually connected with them. Disturbing because it indicates that fewer individuals are working from real locations than you had believed, and that the world is a lot more dishonest than you ever realized. For this reason, you can finally take off your mask and make connections with those who value truth over performance in the Obsidian Inner Order. We recognize the loneliness of seeing what others won't accept, the weariness of continual social translation, and the relief of at last being accepted for who you truly are. You will never be abandoned by us. I will never leave you to face this realization by yourself. You will never disregard your yearning for genuine connection as if it were mere content. We connect from areas of actual truth, communicate without scripts, and appear without masks in the Obsidian Inner Order. You are no longer need to pretend. You are not required to perform. At last, you can just be. Click the link in the description to join the Obsidian Inner Order. You are beginning to realize that you have the amazing pleasure of being able to navigate life without skeletons that others can hang over your head because of your place in this veiled world. You don't need to hide behind a mask because of your sinister secrets. You don't have a secret guilt that needs to be constantly controlled. Your actions haven't been so nefarious or corrupt that you need to hide behind a phony character, even if you've made errors or done things you're not proud of. If you have any secrets, you can handle them. You can accept and take ownership of your past, whatever that may be. The majority of mask wearers are compelled to wear them. They have intentions for the future, behaviors in the present, or prior crimes that would ruin their life if they were made public. They don't wear masks for entertainment. They do it in order to survive. That is not required of you. Others have a strong reaction to this independence. When they see your authenticity, they experience a mix of fear, resentment, and envy. Fear because your authenticity threatens to reveal the fakeness of their own personas. Resentment because your freedom emphasizes their captivity. And envy because they wish they could be as free as you are. Your privilege of authenticity, the capacity to be authentic without fear of disastrous repercussions, is more strong and uncommon than you may imagine. The majority of people would pay everything to possess what you naturally possess. Things change around you when you show up, speak your truth, and don't hide behind a mask. Situations change, people change, and the atmosphere in rooms changes. Everyone around you can have their world changed just by your presence. You're causing an impact that goes well beyond your immediate surroundings. People are beginning to doubt their own masks behind you. They're considering what it might be like to let go of their own facades while they observe your liberation. Some of them are growing weary of upholding their identities and are questioning whether they, too, might live genuinely. Those who stand to gain from everyone donning masks are resisting this. It is they who are saying, "Hold on a second. Wait a moment. Let's put it back in." They rely on a society in which people conceal who they really are, and you're endangering the entire system when they witness others being motivated by your example. You once expressed your desire to live in a society where individuals could be themselves and not hide behind masks. That dream is beginning to materialize. However, you are the one setting the example. You are the trailblazer and pioneer, demonstrating to others that it is possible to be authentic in a virtual environment. This decision to keep your identity a secret has a direct bearing on your future luck. Your determination to hide who you are is about to pay off in ways you can't yet fathom, as the universe tends to reward people who operate from genuine places. You're ready now, ready to be proud of who you are rather than concealing your talents to appease others, ready to show off your genius and exceptional intelligence without apology. This is your moment to step outdoors, dance, and take on whatever stage is calling to you. You should enjoy the adventures that lie ahead and ride the roller coasters, because you choose to be exposed in a society where people are unable to be authentic. Something new is taking place. By making this decision, you are entering entirely new spaces, making connections with a variety of people, and accessing opportunities that were previously unattainable when attempting to blend in with the masked throng. You will come across others who share your path, people who have likewise opted for genuine connection over flimsy networking, truth over comfort, and sincerity over approval. Since these friendships will be founded on who you truly are rather than who you're attempting to be, they will feel different from anything you've ever encountered. You are being invited to do more than just improve your own life. You are being called to provide an example of a different way of being for those around you. You allow someone else to think about taking off their own mask each time you present yourself in an authentic manner. You show that there is another way to navigate the world each time you decline to play the games that everyone else is playing. It's also a leadership moment when you take action. You're paving the way for others to follow when they're ready to stop disguising who they truly are, in addition to living genuinely for yourself. Being genuine has great power, but it also takes discernment. In some situations, you will be the only one without a mask in a room full of strangers, because you are strategic about your energy and your safety, rather than because you are ashamed of who you are. You may need to voluntarily pause during these times. You've never met some of the people you believe you know. You've been dealing with their personas for years, without ever meeting their real selves, since their masks have been so reliable and convincing. You can't predict how the real people behind the masks would respond when you start acting truly in these settings. This does not imply that you should resume donning masks. It implies that you should be mindful of where and when you fully express who you are. Your true self should not be accessible to everyone. Complete transparency is not suitable in every case. Being able to function in a society that isn't prepared for complete honesty is a component of being truly bright. Being authentic is a gift, but it should be given carefully, just like any other gift. You can be savvy about how you navigate environments where sincerity is uncommon and possibly harmful, while yet upholding your integrity. The purpose of the pause is to safeguard your energy, so that you may keep being a force for honesty in the world, not to hide. Instead of attempting to wake everyone awake at once and burning out, it's about telling the truth in a sustainable way. You have happy days ahead of you. You will lead a happy, prosperous, and prolific life, one that those who wear masks cannot experience. Something that demonstrates how fortunate you are to be on this genuine road will occur within the next 7 days. You may get facts or news that support your decision to be authentic. You may see someone else's mask unintentionally come off, revealing their true self beneath their facade. You may go through a situation that makes you realize just how fortunate you are to be able to show the world who you really are. Since there is no mask over your face, the light can shine directly on it. You have direct access to relationships, inspiration, truth, and life-giving energy that those hiding behind masks can never have. You're enjoying the full advantages of genuine living while they're keeping up their facades and managing their image. Glowing star, if you want to witness God's miracles, act now. Contribute $100 or more through Super Thank You on YouTube. Your offering is like a seed that comes back to you when planted. Let His light illuminate your steps. Every donation is an echo in His plan. You're about to receive concrete rewards for being genuine. The universe has been keeping an eye on your dedication to the truth, and the payoff is on the horizon. You'll realize how fortunate you are to be able to live your life without having to conceal significant aspects of who you are. You will soon receive evidence that you made the right decision and that it was worth every moment of discomfort, resistance, and feeling like an outsider because you were yourself. You're going to witness evidence that authenticity ultimately prevails. More people who are unmasked, who can elegantly wear their truth without concealing it behind fake personas, will be found. These relationships will result in partnerships that provide income, artistic endeavors, and life experiences that would be impossible if you were still attempting to blend in with the masked crowd. Because you'll know you're working with people's true selves rather than their performances. You'll be surrounded by people you can genuinely collaborate with. Because these collaborations are based on genuine principles rather than image management or strategic positioning. You may have faith in them. You will be in the process of developing new things for yourself, such as new buildings and new methods of living, working, and interacting. Since most people are too preoccupied with keeping their masks on to imagine what real life would be like, you'll have access to a blueprint for living that most people can't even imagine. More fulfillment will come from these partnerships and creations than from anything you created in an attempt to win over people who never showed you who they truly were. In any case, you'll finally know what it's like to create something genuine with those who share your commitment to authenticity. The three of you, or the small group you are a member of, will serve as an example of what can happen when people put aside their masks and collaborate in a genuine way. Everyone who interacts with your genuine partnership will benefit from the abundance you produce, not just yourself. Your impact goes well beyond your private life. Your genuineness is having both apparent and invisible effects on the globe. Beyond your own life, you are leading a movement towards transparency and truth. By being anonymous, you're paving the way for a future in which more people feel comfortable being themselves, where genuineness is prized above performance, and where connections are made between real people rather than carefully constructed personalities. You are fortunate. You have been selected. In a world full of masks, you are destined to walk unmasked, and by setting an example, you are inspiring others to think about showing their true selves as well. Some of the most significant work currently taking place on Earth is the work you're doing just by being who you are. In a society that encourages you to hide who you are, your dedication to honesty is an act of love, healing, and defiance. You're not simply speaking the truth. You're giving them the opportunity to find and live their own truth. People like you who refuse to hide behind masks, who insist on being real, who show every day that authentic living is not only possible, but also far more fulfilling than any performance could ever be, are fighting the revolution that is taking place around you. It is not being fought with protests or weapons. Continue walking without a mask, selected one. Even when the world is unable to beg for what you are providing, it still needs it.